I'm Dr. Randy Kamen. Welcome to Strategies to Spark Your Week. Today, I'm going to be talking about the behaviors that can destroy relationships and what to do about them. Life is a way of getting in the way of taking the time necessary to nurture the most important relationships in our lives. Deciding to give your undivided attention on a regular basis to your partner, your children, or your friends requires time and commitment. It need not take long stretches of time, but it often means raising one's consciousness and, most importantly, nurturing the positive emotions that you have with that person. Regardless of one's busy schedule, there is always enough time in the day to connect with a partner or a loved one, even for just a moment, so that they and you feel seen and valued, which is what we all really long for in our heart of hearts. Psychologist John Gottman, known for his study of relationships through scientific investigation, can predict with 96% accuracy within the first 3 minutes of observing a couple having a conversation whether their relationship will survive over the long haul or not. He bases his predictions on 4 potentially destructive communication styles and coping mechanisms. In this talk, I will focus on the one Gottman refers to as the 4 horsemen. He used the term the 4 horsemen as a metaphor which describes the end of times in the New Testament. These are, respectively, conquest, war, hunger, death. Dr. Gottman uses the metaphor as a parallel to describe communication styles that can predict the end of a relationship or the demise of a relationship. The first horseman in a relationship is criticism. It's about attacking your partner's personality or character, usually with the intent to make him wrong. Generalizations like "you always," or "you never," or "you're the type of person who," or "why are you so," are tip-offs that a criticism is on its way. An example of a criticism is, "Why didn't you call me when you were running late last night? You never think about how your behavior affects other people. I don't think you are really that forgetful. I think you just don't care about me." Another way of saying this might be, "I got scared when you didn't call me after your meeting and came home 2 hours later than expected. I thought we had agreed that we would call one another when running late." That is a complaint, not a criticism. The second horseman is contempt, and this is by far the worst of the 4 horsemen. Contempt is about attacking your partner's real sense of self with the intention to hurt or psychologically abuse them, using insults, name-calling like "you bitch," "wimp," "fat," "asshole," "lazy," "slob." It's really horrible, horrible terms. It involves using sarcasm, hostile humor, mockery, and body language, such as eye-rolling, sneering, lip-curling, all of which communicates disdain and disgust. The partner feels devalued and maybe even despised. Contempt is toxic and abusive. It needs to be stopped immediately, and if it can't be, one needs to seek out help. An example of this might be, "I've been busting my ass all day, taking the kids everywhere, doing errands, running around like crazy to keep this house together. And all you do when you come home from work is sit on your ass like a zombie and watch TV. You are such a loser." Contempt is devastating and by far the one that needs to be eliminated immediately. The third horseman is defensiveness. Defensiveness is about perceiving the self as a victim and warding off a perceived attack. We can be defensive in the following ways: by making excuses. For example, there were outside circumstances beyond my control, so that I needed to act in a certain way. It's not my fault. That's another example. I didn't do it. There's another way of doing this, which is cross-complaining, which is also defensive, and that is about meeting your partner's complaint or criticism with a complaint of your own, ignoring what your partner had said. For example, she says, "Did you call the plumber about the leaking sink in the basement as you said you would?" He, "I was so busy today. In fact, you knew about my meetings. Why didn't you take care of it? You dump everything on me when you know I have a busy schedule." In the end, it's about making it her fault. A non-defensive response might have been, "I'm sorry, I forgot. I should have asked you this in the morning once I realized I was straight out in the office all day. I'll call him now and leave a message." Other ways of being defensive are disagreeing and then cross-complaining. For example, "That's not true. You're the one who. I did that because you did that." Another one is yes-butting, starting off agreeing and then with the but ending up disagreeing. So the but always cancels out everything that was said prior to. Another one is repeating yourself without paying attention to what the other person is saying, whining, "It's not fair," and ignoring the other. The fourth horseman is stonewalling. When we stonewall, we avoid conflict either deliberately or unconsciously because we wish to avoid conflict. So rather than dealing with the issues with our partner head on, we protect ourselves by avoiding the problem at hand. We can do this by tuning out the other person with the silent treatment, or responding yes or no answers, changing the subject, being perpetually busy, or removing ourselves physically. We essentially avoid relating to the other person. Stonewalling conveys disapproval, distance, disconnection, and maybe even smugness. Now, here are some of the remedies. Bring your authentic self to the dialogue with your partner. Couples know when the other person is being false or sarcastic, and it breaks down communication very quickly. Speak your truth kindly and compassionately. That promotes healthy conversation, however painful the topic. Give up the absolutes. Always and nevers are seldom true. Restate what your partner said to make sure that you understand by repeating the message in your own words. Very importantly is learn to tolerate strong emotions. And you can do this by simply belly breathing and listening deeply without judgment, and instead being curious about what your partner is saying. Plan regular alone time for conversation, for fun, for intimacy. Consider creating a ritual of spending time alone without interference from children, pets, or electronics. Another one is learn to make specific and clear complaints and requests. For example, when X happened, I felt Y. I would like you to Z. That makes it very clear about how you feel and what needs to happen. Also, resolve conflicts fairly. No one wins unless both partners are treated fairly and get at least some of what they need. Forgive the disappointments and mistakes of your partner. Research shows that forgiveness is best for the health of the person doing the forgiving. It helps the other one too, but it is best for you. Even when the situation cannot be resolved, it is good to forgive so that you can let go and move on. Schedule activities together that you can both enjoy, and reinforce positive memories and experiences by talking about them and creating new fun experiences, new fun memories. Remember what brought you together and build on the strengths of the relationship. The more time you do that and build on the positive memories, the happier you will be with your partner. And spend time with couples that have healthy relationships. Learn from their behavior. Happy couples behave like good friends, and they can have conflict and successfully resolve. They can navigate through interactions that are difficult and even painful and process these difficult emotions fully. Most importantly, they are also good at savoring the positive experiences and nurturing the aspects of one another that they enjoy. I hope this talk sparks you into a place of greater personal and relational empowerment. Please let me know if you have any comments or questions. As always, I can be reached at my website, drrandykamen.com. And please note that the launch of my new retreat, Blueberry Fields MV, will be Columbus Day weekend. Early registration will open soon. This retreat will be about strategies to retrain the brain for positivity and success. More information will follow. I look forward to seeing you next week for another episode of Strategies to Spark Your Week.